Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to discuss past tense. Past tense means everything happening before, a long time ago. Suppose all of you were born about, say, 15, 16 years ago. So if your father asks you, when were you born? You have to say, I was born in 1998 or I was born in 2000. Never say I am born in 2000, you see. So your reference to your birth will always come in the past tense. So like the present tense, there are four types of past tense too. Past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. So let us get some idea along the line that we did with our present form. Look at the paragraph. It is about Arif. Arif left for school in time. So left is the past tense for leaves. On the way he met his friend Saev. Met is the past tense for meet. So in this way the whole passage describes Arif's activities in the past tense. And how do you understand that it is in the past tense? By looking at the form of the verbs. They are all rendered in past spellings. Now we said that there are four types of past tense. Past indefinite tense. Why is it used? Past indefinite tense is used to describe an action done in the past. Say Rafiq got a prize. I walked 5 miles yesterday. Okay, I was a good student in school, but not anymore now. So whenever you refer to actions taking place in the past, you use the past tense. Then you can also use the regular past habit. He studied regularly, okay, or he studied not very regularly. Every sentence can also be rendered in the negative form. Now, we also say that he, for example, in the simple present form, we can refer to a habitual action by saying that I read Shakespeare every day. But if I want to take it in the past as a habit, then I can do it in two ways. I can say I used to read Shakespeare every day, okay, or I would read Shakespeare every day. These two forms are possible to describe a past habitual action. So then we have the past continuous tense. So past continuous tense is like present continuous tense. In the present continuous tense, you have to describe an action at the time of speaking. And in the past continuous tense, something was happening at the time of speaking, and that is rendered in the past continuous tense. For example, they were playing tennis in the court. That is, at the time of speaking, they were playing tennis in the court. And the sun was rising when you woke up. Now look at this. The sun rises in the east. This happens in the simple present form in order to indicate universal truth. But the sun can be particularized by saying that the sun rose today very early in the morning. So then you can use rose, the past form of rise, by saying that the sun rose today very late. So in this way, you see, we can also particularize the universal facts by putting them in the time frame of the past tense. Now, along with the past continuous tense, the past perfect tense can also be understood. As we said in the present perfect tense, that the action had started in the past, but the impact was always felt in the present time. That is what the present perfect tense does. A similar activity is also done by the past perfect tense, but it had to be completed in the past. So, say for example, I had gone to school. Okay, this is said in the past perfect tense. The has verb is coming and the past participle of the form verb go becomes gone. I had gone to school yesterday. But there is a subtle thing you have to remember about the use of the past perfect tense. In the case of the present perfect tense, you can use it independently, saying that I have read Shakespeare today, no problem. But when you say that in the past perfect tense, I had read Shakespeare then it has to always come with a time reference. I had read Shakespeare before I did something else. So in the past tense, the past perfect tense is always connected with another time reference. So look at this difference. I have taught in a school, but I had taught in a school for 5 years, like that. The time reference in the past perfect tense is always important. And in another way, the past perfect tense is used. In the past, if the two actions took place, the one that took place in the further time of the past, that will be described with the past perfect tense, and the nearer action to the present time will be discussed in the past indefinite tense. Look at this sentence. Exercise 7, sentence A. Look at this. I had reached the school before the bell rang. So your reaching of the school took place earlier than the ringing of the bell. Then he said that he had finished his lesson. Okay, he finished his lesson, but he said it afterward. So therefore, his finishing of the lesson takes past perfect tense. Another example will be very clear to you. Suppose every day before you go to bed, you take a cup of milk. So which one takes place earlier? Your taking of the milk takes place earlier before you go to bed. So you can say, I had taken a cup of milk before I went to bed. That gives you the use of the past perfect tense clearly. The best one, the famous statement is the one that everybody knows. Rogi ashibar purbe, Daktar ashibar purbe rogi mara gelo. This is actually a very good example of how to use the past perfect tense. The patient had died before the doctor arrived, because the patient died earlier than the arrival of the doctor. Say, when two actions in the past are described with before and after, how to use them? When you use before, then the past perfect tense should come the word before. Look at this sentence. I had reached the station before the train left. I had reached the station before the train left. So before is coming before the sentence which is in the indefinite tense. But look at after. The train left after I had reached the station. So after takes the past perfect tense, before doesn't take it. You have to remember this. Again, after is used with the past perfect tense and before is used without the past perfect tense. That is, in the sentence where before occurs, the past perfect tense has to come before the word before. And in the sentence where after occurs, after has to come before the past perfect tense. And another complicated one is this use of the no sooner. No sooner had we reached the station than the train left. Now this gives a lot of problems to students, I know. You see, no sooner, and then it has to be used with than. No sooner than বাংলায় হচ্ছে এরকম যে আমি স্টেশনে পৌঁছাতে না পৌঁছাতে ট্রেনটা ছেড়ে দিল, এই অর্থ নো সুনার, সুন থেকে সুনার. সো ইট বিকামস নো সুনার হ্যাড আই রিচড দ্য স্টেশন দেন দ্য ট্রেন লেফট. So always no sooner should go with the past perfect tense, and before the indefinite tense will start, you have to use the word tha and then. So remember this. No sooner had we reached the station than the train left. Say for example, no sooner had the sun risen than we woke up from bed. সূর্য উঠতে না উঠতে আমরা বিছানা থেকে উঠে গেলাম. This is how you do it. Now another word, these are called negative adverbs, hardly, scarcely. When these negative adverbs begin sentences, you have to use them in the way you use the interrogative sentence. That is, the auxiliary should come before the subject. Say, look at this sentence. Hardly had we reached home when it began to rain. যে আমরা বাড়িতে পৌঁছাই নাই তার মধ্যে বৃষ্টি শুরু হয়ে গেল. Hardly had we. You cannot say hardly we had reached. Hardly had we reached home when it began to rain. Again, scarcely. Scarcely had we reached home before it began to rain. Another negative adverb is seldom. Seldom does he come here. You cannot say seldom he comes here. Seldom does he come here. So remember this pattern. Then past perfect continuous tense is like present perfect continuous tense. Something started in the past and it still was going on. Look at this. I had been reading the book before you came. Again, two actions are there. I had been reading the book before you came. Or it had been raining hard when you came. So again, the little difference between past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. In the past perfect tense, the action might have ended, but in the past perfect continuous tense, the action would continue when another action takes place. So suppose you went home yesterday, okay, and you found your sister reading a book. Then she might tell you, brother, I had been reading Shakespeare when you entered the house, okay? Or if she was watching a movie, she could say, I had been watching this movie, okay, when you came and disturbed me. So in this way, students, when two actions in the past are related, one has to be in the simple past tense and another action can either be in the past perfect tense or in the past perfect continuous tense, depending on the continuity of the action. Now here, in this exercise, there is a passage given with a list of words, okay, which you have to put in the blanks to make it a proper passage. Amin, then the blank is coming. Amin dash a poor villager. So if you want to use it in the past tense, you can say Amin was a poor villager. If you want to use it in the present tense, you can say Amin is a poor villager. And if you want to use it in the past perfect tense, what do? Amin had been a poor villager before he got a job in the bank. So in this way, this can be done. So I hope students, your knowledge about past tense, I think, is such that you would be able to use it in actual practice. Thank you very much.